Welcome to the Silhouettes of Success podcast with your host, successful entrepreneur, broker, and business mentor, Amber Weitzer. Because success comes in all shapes, sizes, and styles, the Silhouettes of Success podcast is shining the light on industrious women with a collection of curated conversations of intentional inspiration designed to inspire your heart, ignite your mind, feed your soul, and gift you with actionable insights directly from inspirational, everyday women who've shown tenacity, grit, and grace, having taken on the challenges in their lives and business and won. Remarkable, down-to-earth, and relatable, Amber and her guests will share with you uplifting and extraordinary real-life success stories, motivational ideas that just might help spark something within you. With the deepest desire to serve you, help you grow so you can begin to shine the light that will illuminate your very own silhouette of success. So, let's get to it.
Hello, Silhouettes, and welcome to the Amber Weitzer podcast, Silhouettes of Success. One of our Silhouettes of Success and I have embarked on a magical journey together. It's a project whose roots were planted unbeknownst to us back in 2018. Ladies, I have mentioned serendipity before. Plus, who would have ever imagined what we would be doing, what we are doing, and dare I say, what we did? I'm still counting the many firsts for me since she and I kicked off this project last year. And giving credit where credit is due, along with us on this journey are an amazing, talented, and creative group of partners supporting just 1,000-fold. So more to come on that in the future when the time is right, if she feels the time is right. But for today, this episode is focusing on something enlightening for me that arose from working on this project. So, Rhinestones and barbed wire, straw cowgirl hat and Louis Vuitton, denim overalls and fishnet stockings, champagne and beef jerky, green acres and Sex in the City, tractors and BMWs, stilettos and snake boots, chainsaws and chandeliers, sequins and sawdust. Are you looping in yet? Do you see the calamity of confusion and contradiction all over the place? So, would this be the city girl or the country girl? And I say yes. What do others see in us? That's a fair question. Does it really matter? That depends. Context would be critical in this, wouldn't you agree, to be able to answer that? Do you have a professional or business persona? Is it a branding or style? Do you actively and intentionally maintain it? Is this something that's important to you, or is it a non-issue, low priority? Either way, it's all good. I'm sharing this story just for a little bit of fun on the topic with a heavy dose of recognizing personal growth within certain environments that we're in, certain interactions that we partake in, and this example was happening in, real time, yikes, for me. So talking a little bit more about this anymore, some of these personas might not apply across the business or work spectrum, as many work environments and standards have morphed with the times. So this, I guess I would say, is just purely, stay with me, a complete visual to help illustrate the compare and contrast of what I'm going to share with you. So you go visit a working farm, you see a farmer. She may be dressed in denim overalls, a straw hat, some working gloves, and muck boots. Got the visual? If you go see a lawyer in a high-rise corner office suite, she could be in a fitted couture business suit, perfectly coiffed from head to toe. So during my Silhouette of Success journey, I have evolved, altered, and modified my personal persona, but venture to say that I stayed true to my style access. And it's with our personal life experiences, probably a combination of upbringing and influences over our lifetime to this point that have really helped to shape our silhouettes along the journey. And that's where we start to see and redefine or fine tune our persona. And the branding is really tailored to suit what we need it to be at the time, or maybe it's been consistent for you. So let's explore. Some have a clear cut persona. You can recognize they have a trademark style or a niche that's really easy to ascertain their vibe. And that can be helpful, especially if you're wanting to approach or learn more about them. How about when there's not a visual hallmark to help guide you, or worse yet, an enigma to try to decipher? So stay with me. I'm just setting the scene here. Is there a common takeaway that I have learned? People ask me, what have you learned from your conversations or interviews or coffee chats, as I like to call them, with our silhouettes of success? Even talking with future prospective silhouettes that want to participate. And I would say that what I have figured out, learned, is that we are all very multifaceted with many, many very deep layers. And of course, I knew that before, but it's really part of why I took on this passion project in sharing all these spectacularly diverse and deep and just talented women with all of you. But truly, during our conversations, the details that we find out are remarkable. The depth of their stories, at a minimum, can be mind blowing. So there is some comfort, what I have observed, for some in having their clear, cut and dry persona, style, and branding. They truly enjoy the nesting place and what they've created. You can recognize it in their social media. Their palette is consistent, whether it's a color palette, it's cohesive, their branding from A to Z. You know who they are, what they stand for, and that's fantastic because it helps you be able to easily relate. Would you agree? Then we have the complete polar opposite. They're free spirits in all aspects of their world, whether it's a work world, a business world, their personal world, and their happy place is just keeping it spontaneous and eclectic. And I know that you can probably picture someone and visualize that example too. But what happened here? You're easily able to relate with either one of those examples. It might not be your vibe, but you can at least see and understand and relate. And again, if you were in a real life situation or setting, you might adjust or be a little bit versatile in how you approach that individual. So, what about those that fit in between? Yes, in between. Perhaps they live in many realms. They enjoy participating in both the defined and coloring outside of the line worlds. Well, enter me. So, as I mentioned earlier, with this project that I talked about in the beginning in the opening, there have been many, many firsts with my friend and this group. So, some were uncomfortable, accepting and appreciating my flaws. Some were downright absolutely heart-wrenching difficult. And yet the majority of the lessons and experiences have stretched me to new heights of growth and discovery. So all in all, it's been brilliant and magical. So as she and I began collaborating, the respect, admiration, and appreciation have mounted. The current path we are on wasn't planned and plotted with the final course or destination or goal, but rather it was conversations of learning, listening, respecting, and passing on more light to others. So during this time, it's been apparent that the path began to narrow. So we needed to adjust course to expand the opportunity to reach as many as possible. And with this, we began drastically adventuring into new territories for the both of us and had to call in for some professional help, training, and guidance. So here we are, dressed, pressed, polished, and we both showed up. And later found out we were both a bundle of nerves. And it was during this time that our personas were about to be ear tagged. Now, keep in mind, I'm somewhat of a maverick. I'm an independent contractor for a reason. Took me years to figure that out, but I did. And so here we are, So when I began to see that I am labeled coming my way, the anxiety level began to percolate. Why is that? I could just feel it coming on. So at this moment, do I roll with the flow, play my role in character, or upset the apple cart and speak up? Would that even upset the apple cart? In these moments where this is just organically taking place, real time, real life, with real people all around, it was a wee bit nerve wracking. Okay, maybe more than wee bit. I was sweating under my dress, my body knotted up, I was tense. I don't know, I could just feel my pantyhose sweating. I was nervous. I was feeling so vulnerable. In addition to everything else, all of the dynamics, I'm staring at the TV monitors. I am absolutely spotting every flaw of my physical appearance on the TV monitors and the screen, which of course was additionally unhelpful to my mindset. I was sabotaging myself. For what? So, this is a whole new environment for me and my friend, but this was all taking place in my head. So, side note, gonna give more credit to continue to pass the credit where credit is due. It was a serious blessing that we were with these new folks, the experts in this industry, completely super groovy people. I was also sitting with someone that I trusted as my friend. And so, moreover, so very grateful that we were with the folks that we were with on this day during this experience and this training. Um, so, back to the story, I was extremely scared truly to let her down because, again, this is a project I'm helping with to showcase her. So I had to regroup my mindset. I rolled with it and I was flowing with it with the label, or so I thought I was flowing. And something was off in my novice performance. Um, while it was definitely not noteworthy, as again, this was the first time for me. So I am cutting myself a little bit of grace in all of this. And it was training, but even the trainer could really sense my internal struggle. And so again, I tell you, yes, they are that good at what they do. We had just met that day. And so she was sensing it. She knew something was off. And so she stopped and we talked it through. And I truly couldn't figure out why I was struggling so until we just started. I guess they always say you have to ask questions, which I advocate. But for some reason, when we're talking about and working with ourselves in those moments, maybe we just get too close to it. And so she was asking the questions, and it was the label. The label. So I was seriously hung up on that being placed in one persona over another. And I thought, whoa, this is personal growth happening live in front of people and darn near strangers. And it was very humbling. So interesting, the situation. And we quickly worked it through. And this tango of mixed emotions was happening in real life, real time, working through all of this. But what I started figuring out is no way were we going to, or was I going to allow my personal struggles stall out this project for a seemingly silly dilemma of mine. But does anyone else have this aversion? Am I alone here? So, for the record, it sounds like as I share this story that all of a sudden time froze and I'm laying on the floor like a toddler throwing a fit and dust myself off and got back to work. But it didn't. It didn't happen in slow motion. Time didn't freeze. It was not a cinematic slow motion type event. However, it was happening in real time. I was having to make sure to process quickly. How am I handling myself? How am I outwardly displaying, my behavior and get myself in check really quick? So there you go. So it was definitely a moment to journal and to capture, and as have many. And my journey has been a collaboration of wondrous and bittersweet moments in time, an ambrosolio blend of a unique elixir that I have gotten pretty protective of, capturing and maintaining my authentic essence that's truly me. And naturally, mine would be both complex and concise. I have decided along the way not to be placed in a label category with a title. It just goes against my core. I want to be able to explore it all. I want to pursue different opportunities. I want to experience different fields, different environments. And so there are times, and I venture to say, if you ask my brothers, particularly one of them likes to tease me, that there are times where I can clearly illustrate my chameleon like skills when they are needed to be called into action. And perhaps this might seem inauthentic. Um, I don't like the word fake, yet I know it's a perception at times. Sometimes for me, it has been my ability to adapt, fit in, and play the part and be versatile. Because sometimes it's even been a survival skill. Uh, so I guess I would say it doesn't get more authentic than that. And I own that. So I wanted to share this story because personal growth for me happens on a daily. But there are those times, there's settings, those moments to where it shows itself. And it is those times where I think, you are most vulnerable, where I have been most vulnerable, that I am just out there in the wide open. And the skills that I have learned over the years by so many of these silhouette of successes that you hear from, um, which is another homage to put them out there and showcase them for you, because there are times that without certain interactions or observations of these amazing women, that I don't know that I would have all of the tools in my tool belt, as they say, to cope as well as I feel I try to, with certain situations, decisions, challenges, to really feel that I have done my best in that moment. And if I haven't, to go back and make amends or make apologies or make it right, in whatever sense that is. So it comes down to the culmination, as I've mentioned earlier, of our own personal life experiences, our upbringings, the influences over our lifetimes that have help at least to shape our silhouettes of success is what I dare say. So, talking through the labels and talking through the personas or the personal branding, with our social media or our businesses or our lives or who we are just as people for ourselves and women, I wanted to share with you that me raising my hand as the girl that wants to be not defined by any of those titles or labels, but they're fun at certain points. They're fun to use. Um, I don't know, what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, I wanted to be all these different things and I wanted to try it out. And I have been so fortunate that even in the darkest days and darkest times and most difficult settings, that I can point back, and maybe I choose to point back and see what that girl was doing at that time, what the little girl was doing, what the girl was doing, what the young lady, what the young woman. Again, positive or painful, that has helped me to shape the silhouette of success that I am today and continuing to grow upon. So you see, I am the city girl at heart. I am the country girl at heart. And call me either one of those in this scenario, and I am fully at peace with it because it is all mine. I own it. It's powerful to acknowledge that. And the labels and the titles no longer cause me angst. We are all a fusion of amazing, beautiful, creatively distinct, simply complex beings to appreciate, embrace, and cherish. And I share this all with you because I celebrate you. I celebrate us. I celebrate all of you silhouettes of success. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share these messages with you.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Silhouettes of Success podcast. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out and join us for all the new episodes. We are here for you and with you. We encourage you to share this podcast on all your socials and pass on the light to help illuminate another silhouette of success. Amber would love to hear from you, and you can find her on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, or head over to amberweitzer.com. Let's connect. Help us all shine and leave us a review too. To find out the latest ways to inspire your heart, ignite your mind, and gain actionable insights, subscribe at amberweitzer.com. We are honored, humbled, and full of joy that you've tuned in. Remember, you are exactly where you need to be, right here with us. This is the Amber Weitzer podcast, Silhouettes of Success.